The Love Golf Design team was honored to be included in the restoration of Harbour Town Golf Links. I've had so many great moments on that golf course and so many great times with the Dye family in my life. It's an honor to be a part of preserving the history and the heritage of the Dye course. The Goodwin family knew exactly what they wanted, and the team at Sea Pines were great to work with. And I think this restoration came out unbelievably. The first hole at Harbour Town Golf Links sets up Pete Dye's masterpiece of using the land and the trees. It looks like a simple hole, but if you don't drive the ball in the right side of the fairway, you're going to be blocked out by a giant pine tree on the left for your second shot. And then you can see a bunker from the fairway. We had to hollow out in front of that bunker a little bit and raise the face of it just so you could see it better from the fairway. Kind of gotten lost over the years. And then there's bailout to the right of the green, like on so many of Pete's designs here at Harbour Town Golf Links. And just there to the left in the sun is a back tee for number 2 for the pros in the tournament. But it looks like a simple start, but you better get it right in the middle of the fairway. The second hole is a shortish par 5, so we tried to get as much length as we could on the back of the tee, and then we moved this bunker on the left about 3 or 4 steps to the right to pinch the fairway in a little bit more, strengthened the face of that bunker. And then over the years, the grounds crew has added this sand in the palm trees and in the oak trees and cleaned it up. So we made those a little bit bigger. And then we added another hole location way over to the right of the green, right over the edge of those shadows over the bunker. So the green's a little bit bigger, a little bit more slope from the hole location you see there to the right. And then there's been several things behind the screen over the years, but we put back 2 of Pete's sod wall steep bunkers in the back of the green. So an easier hole for the pros has gotten a little bit harder. The third hole, the back tees have gotten a little bit longer over the years behind that cart path, so we didn't need to do anything off the tee. And John Wright, the green superintendent, has done a great job with the right side of the fairway over the years, adding a few palms, pinching the fairway in a little bit, again using the sand under the oak trees, cleaning up the edges of the golf course. But we were asked to shrink the length of this bunker on the left side of the green, so it's a little bit smaller but a little bit steeper face up by the green. And then Pete had some 3-level bunkers that had kind of gone away. And this is one hole where we found some old pictures and restored the bunkers on the right. And then the green's a little bit bigger, and where that tractor's going back and forth is another little bailout area. The fourth hole, par 3, a dramatic change here, but it's just with the lake. Took out the bridge and the cart path, moved the cart path and the trees to the right. And then we found some old pictures of the bunkers in the back of the green, so we expanded the big flat bunker, added again one of Pete Dye's pot bunkers. After this restoration, some of the guests might want to bury me in a pot bunker like Pete's title of his book, but right behind this hole location, the green had gotten a little high and a big ridge, so we flattened the ridge out a little bit, gave the guests a little bit more room, and maybe made it a little tougher for the expert player to get the ball to stay in the middle of the green. But again, use the chipping area to the right and stay away from the water. The fifth hole, the par 5, has changed a little bit over the years, so we found some old pictures from the 70s and rerouted the cart path up in the second shot area. We strengthened and improved the visibility of all these bunkers off the tee, backed all the tee boxes up a little bit over the years, and then the biggest change is around the green. Pete moved the green from up against the trees to the right out into the open a little bit back in about 2014. So we restored the look of the original green, and then we moved that oak tree in the right corner there, short of the green. We moved it about 15 feet out into the fairway so it guards the green like the original. And then again, another one of Pete's sod wall stacked bunkers off to the left to catch a big errant shot. The 6th hole is one of Pete's great strategy holes. It's not supposed to be very long, and you're supposed to be able to hit a driver or a 3-wood and try to keep it in the right position off the tee. Don't drive it too far or you'll get blocked out by the oak. We restored to original the bunker on the right, more of a shell bunker, a waist bunker, strengthened the walls of that bunker. And then the only big change at the green is putting again another one of those sod wall bunkers way off to the left. Pete stacked or layered his bunkers on the edges of the greens in the original course. And then we got another hole location in the back left and made the green again just a little bit bigger than it was before the restoration. The seventh par 3, one of the neatest par 3s anywhere in the world, again, took out the bridge and moved the cart path over to the right to clean up, put a bulkhead all the way around the lake. And then at the green, the only change was to restore the depth of the bunker on the left. This is just a classic hole because of the trees. It didn't need much work, and we put a little bit more movement in the green. I think over the years, the greens had gotten a little bit flat because of green speed, and Pete wanted them to be a little stronger, and so did management. So not much change to one of the most classic holes in golf. The eighth, now a big par 4 in Pete's always sequence of holes. You had some short holes, now we've got a big long hole before the short ninth. It's a tough drive. It's always set up by the trees. We measured in between those trees. There's only 35 feet between those trees off the tee. So you have to thread the needle. Again, get off to the right side of the fairway to have an angle into the green and not be playing over the long flat bunker. This green got a little bit bigger, a little bit more movement, and then we restored this little hook in the bunker behind the green. Pete changed this bunker quite a lot over the years, so we kind of went for the best of Pete Dye in this restoration. All right, the ninth, the shortest hole on the golf course. Nothing changed off the tee. We've lost a few trees over the years, so we continue to plant some pines down the left. But the biggest change that we made here is at the green. We raised the green just a little bit and then strengthened just short of the green to make it harder for the guys who try to drive the green. And then over the green, this is where you're gonna get into trouble. 2 stacked sod pot bunkers behind the green, gonna make an errant shot over the green very difficult to get the ball up and down. The old pictures of this green are incredible, and I think this is as close as it's been in a long, long time to original. Making the turn to the 10th, this hole had gotten extremely wide on the right due to losing trees. We continued the theme of some soft paths and waste areas off to the right, added a few palm trees in that corner where the paths meet, and then planted some more oak trees and pines down the right to put it back to original. Over the years, they've added trees in the 16th fairway, so we matched that up on 10. And then another little sod wall pot bunker on the right. We lost some trees up by the green as well, so that guards the front right. And then this is one of my favorite greens on the course with that smooth little chipping area to the left of the green. The big goal of this restoration was to not mess up Pete's masterpiece, and the 11th is another example of such a great tee shot. It looked simple, but if you don't get the ball to the right side of the fairway, you don't have a great angle into the green. And then there's a tree right in front of the green that's always been a problem. So we expanded the left side of the green just a tad. The back section of the green had gotten very small. We opened that up a little bit for more hole locations in the back left corner. And then again, Pete stacks bunkers on the right. Lower level, upper level bunkers. This is as close to original pictures as we could get, plus another stacked sod bunker on the right. The 12th, the short dogleg par 4 with one of the most interesting greens on the golf course. The great Tom Doak commented about this waste area on the left. So we expanded that just a little bit, and then into the green. Again, you need to be on the right side of the fairway, close to the corner to have a good angle. And then we strengthened the face of the bunkers on both sides. Again, going back to old pictures. But this is one of the coolest greens Pete's ever built and didn't need much tweaking. 13 is another position hole off the tee. Got to lay up to the right of that fairway bunker, get over in the right corner to get an angle into the green. Trees obviously are of utmost importance on this hole. We cleaned up the sandy areas under the oaks on the left, and then we lowered the green back as close as we could get to the walls of the bunker. They had gotten a lot of sand piled up on them. Now you can see the left side of the green much better. You have more hole locations in the front, and this is another one. You better be long and not short. And then this gives you a great view of the rearranged and new tee on 14. The long par 3 14th, we rearranged those tee boxes in the back, gave you more tee space, lowered the guest tee to give you more area to play from. And then the biggest change on the golf course is going back to Pete's pot bunker just to the left of 14. It's one of the most notorious bunkers in all of golf, and it's restored there over by the oak tree. There's another bunker a little farther back in the corner that Pete added over the years. So this again is one you better bail out short and left and don't go in the water and don't get in those pot bunkers. Okay, the par 5 15th, over the years the tee box has been lengthened. They gained some property behind the tee, so it's a lot longer than original. We moved the fairway bunker a little farther on the right side down the hole. Over the years, the sand has crept into the fairway. Again, John Wright, the green superintendent's done an incredible job of cleaning up the edges. So not much change until we get up here around the corner. The sandy area in the layup area is cleaned up and strengthened. And then the biggest change is at the green. The green had gotten a little bit flat over the years, and then a lot of sand had gotten thrown up from the right bunker and created a ridge before the green. So a lot more hole locations, and if you miss the right level and you're down on the left, it's gonna be a trickier putt back up the hill. With green speed speeding up, in previous renovations, the greens had gotten flatter, so we put a little bit more of that movement back in the 15th. 16th par 4, nobody but the pros are playing from back there across the road. But the hole now is a little bit tougher if you bail out to the right. With added trees on 10 across the sandy waste area, it's gonna be a little bit more difficult if you bail out. We moved the left waste area slightly to the right and strengthened the face of it to be a little bit more dramatic. Then when you play into the green, we've changed the bunkers on the right, again, back to some stack sod. Pete was famous for putting palm trees in the bunker. This is one of the best examples of that on the golf course. And that bunker is exactly like it was originally, with 2 stack sod second level bunkers off to the right. 17th par 3, this is a great example of going back to old pictures and what we did to the greens. A little bit bigger and a little bit more movement. You can see that ridge just to the right of the hole location is a little bit stronger than it was before the restoration. The bottom of the right bunkers is a little bit wider. We saw a lot of balls trapped up against the back edges, and then we cleaned up the bunker edges on the left side of the green and then redid all the wood all the way around the bunker. This is one of the most gorgeous holes on the golf course. The 18th at Harbour Town Golf Links, one of the most famous holes in the world. The only change off the tee was we gained about 10 yards off the back tee, and then those sandy areas to the right, like the rest of the golf course, we pulled them out into the fairway just a little bit, added a few palm trees. Maybe now it's not quite so wide if you bail out to the right. And we found an old picture of the green where we moved the right corner of that greenside bunker more to the right like it was originally, strengthened the face of it. And then again, we widened the back of that back bunker for the average player that hits it over the green and put a little bit more movement back in the green like it was originally.